Hello everybody and welcome to another Let's Play video. It's another lovely evening in Stormwind tonight and we're recording a little bit late, so as you can see it's nighttime. And today we're going to continue our journeys in Azeroth on our Pandaren Sunpose, first venturing into the land. Now we're almost level 14, so we're going to go with this new feature called the Adventure Guide. We're going to pick a place to go to. Now we are currently in the Eastern Kingdoms, in Stormwind to be precise, and the two zones we can go to are Westfall, down here, or Loch Modan, which is here. So, I think we're going to go with Loch Modan, because I've been through Westfall quite a few times, and it's not really as interesting as Loch Modan. At least I haven't done Loch Modan in a while, so we're going to try that. So we're going to have to go and find the Flight Master by going through Stormwind, and at the same time we're going to head through the Dwarven District and Old Town to get to the Flight Master. So you can see, even though it's a quiet evening here, we are, however, in Argent Dawn, which means that most people will be role-playing at this time of night. And it's something that I'm planning on showing at some point in the evening, or some point in a few videos' time. But for now, we're going to leave the role-players to it. But we're probably going to see a few as we walk past them here in this stretch of road between the Dwarven District and Old Town. So let's have a look. There's one over there. There's a whole host of them here. This is where you see a lot of players, and a lot of players do play as role players on Argent Dawn. It is the busiest role-playing server, so you can see that they're everywhere. Guardians of Time. We've got Elvira Duskfeather, who's a bookworm. They got cool outfits. Matching, they must be twins. Looks like it. So yes, we're going to head to Loch Modan today. Let's start that quest, shall we? The destruction of the stone-wrought dam has the Dwarven Mountaineers stretched thin. Reinforcements are desperately needed. By order of His Royal Highness King Varian Rin, all able-bodied citizens of the Alliance are to report to Pilot Hammerfoot at Southgate Outpost. The destruction of the stone-wrought dam and the resurgence of the kobolds and trogs as the Mountaineers stretch thin. Reinforcements are desperately needed. Travel east through Southgate Pass from East Dunmurrow to reach Southgate Outpost. For the glory and for the Alliance. Actually, we could take the tram, which means I just wasted a bunch of time. On we go, keep going this way. Run, run, run. You can see the little belly animations there. So this is Stormwind. This is going to be our main hub for the majority of this Let's Play. We're going to come back here from time to time to work on our trade skills, funnel some items around, maybe use the auction house, and roleplay a little bit. So we're going to be coming back here quite a lot. Sunpo's going to get quite familiar with the location. We're also going to change Sunpo's hairstyle at some point to the longer braid, which is one that I quite prefer. There's some more roleplays here. The Lady Van Koven Witch. Blimey. So here's the tram here. The tram is a train that goes straight from Stormwind all the way through to the Eastern Kingdoms. Sorry, to Dunmurrow. Oh, I forgot we've still got Bancho, our little Earth Spirit, who's following us. I think we'll keep him around, because he's quite cool to have. So yes, I've now moved back from university. I've got a couple of months where I'm going to be at home, and this is the new recording setup for the time being, which is going to give me a lot more time to play games and record videos for you guys. So we're going to be getting a lot more of these videos out a lot more quickly and updating them. If there's anything to do with the sound quality, I'll try and warn you beforehand if I'm moving around the room, but to be honest, the acoustics here I'm not sure about yet, so we're just going to have to see. Now we're waiting for a tram. Let's see what the Pandaren looks like on a chair. Too big by the looks of it. His butt's just sliding off the edge. Oh well. Now unfortunately the questing experience outside of the Pandaren starting zone is not going to be as cinematic as it was when we were going last time, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to just be talking more. I'm not going to focus as much on cutscenes. If there are any cutscenes, however, I will make sure to turn off any microphones so that we can hear them. Need to reapply our poison to our weapons. So that's 60 minutes, there you go. So this is the journey to Loch Modan. It's quite a short journey, considering that if you ran it would take quite a long time. And the further down we go, the further into the depths of the planet we go. As you can see, there is a bit of water here, and we're going to see that now. See? How cool is that? And what you can do is hop off of there at any time, and you can go and have a look at the vistas down there. I mean, you can be stuck there for a while, and you can't mount up in this place, which is kind of irritating. But if you're committed enough, you can go down there and see the entire thing. So we're now arriving in Ironforge, City of the Dwarfs. Now, I understand that this is quite a lot of travelling, and I did want this to be an authentic World of Warcraft Let's Play where you see me do everything on this character, but if you do want me to skip things like this, which is just the travelling around, I mean, if you like to see what's going on in the world, and you like to see bits of the world that I'm going through, then please feel free to let me keep doing this. But if you want me to cut it and go down, and then we can see just the bits that you want to see, then that's more than fair enough. And I'm not going to montage it though, which is what I've seen quite a lot of people do. That's not really my thing. So we're going to go to the Flight Master and see if we can get any flights around Dunmurra, just to speed up our flight a little bit. Because otherwise it's a long journey to Loch Modan. We have to walk all the way along here, down the mountains. I want to see if we can fly to the Golbalark Quarry. This is the main area, the Great Forge of Ironforge. Very cool. Very dwarven. Damn, no flight paths. We're going to have to walk the old-fashioned way, unfortunately for us. So we're going to head down this back alley. Now, another thing I wanted to do with these videos, and something I was thinking of doing whilst we were just doing this Let's Play sort of thing, was to take excerpts from books that I've read. I've read quite a lot of the World of Warcraft books, most of them on my Kindle when I've been travelling on holiday. But there are a lot of books that talk about some things, so I'm just going to step away for 2 seconds whilst my character is running, hopefully we'll find a straight line, and I'm going to go away for just 2 seconds. You'll probably hear me climbing and stumbling around everywhere, swearing or tripping over. And then I'm going to read you an excerpt on the Dwarven lore, and this is going to come from the book that I'm going to quote at the end and send you a link to, alright? So let's just find a place we can walk straight. Don't think that's it. Come on, Sumpo, hurry up. Why am I wearing the trainee cord? That's the question. There we go. I'm just going to hop down here. Give me a second. Okay, admire the vista of Dunmurra for a second whilst I hop away from the desk and grab a book. If you heard that, that was me falling off my bed. So, oh yes, I'm recording my bedroom as the luxuries of being at university have faded away and I've come back to live with my parents. So, let's get back into recording. There's a nice strap bit there as well. My foot's gone numb. I think I might probably hurt it. Ow. There you go. Bloopers are part of the show here. Right, let's have a look. So for reference, this book is called The Ultimate Visual Guide for World of Warcraft. Let's try and find races. Dwarves, page 80. There you go. Oh, look at that. I forgot about this book. You're probably thinking, Christ, what a shit Let's Play. We'll deal with that in a second. I'm going to read you the page, not on Dwarves, but on Ironforge, which is the city we were just at. And I'm also going to read the excerpt on Stormwind, if there is one. Let's hope we can find it, okay? Alright. Let's just make some room. There we go. Right, so I can still play, still talk to you, and we're going to read some stuff about Ironforge. So, Ironforge. Location, Eastern Kingdoms. Race, Dwarf. Faction, Alliance. The ancient city of Ironforge has long been the dwarves' seat of power. The massive fortress, carved into the peaks of Loch Modan, reflects dwarven values: hearth, home, industry, and a keen reverence for history. Though Ironforge has long been a source of contention between the dwarven clans, the mountain citadel remains a bastion of Alliance power. The Great Forge dominates the capital's centre. The great anvil rests at the centre, used to craft many a fine weapon. Canals of lava from deep within the mountain heat this massive foundry. Tinkertown, the place where we first came in, with all the moving cogs and gnomes you may have seen when we came off the tram. Gnomes and dwarfs have been staunch allies and friends for millennia. When Nomoragon was rendered uninhabitable, gnomish refugees found shelter within Ironforge. An entire section of the city, called Tinkertown, was set aside for their use. Although many gnomes have now relocated to New Tinkertown near Nomoragon, there are those who still call Ironforge home. The Deep Run Tram. An engineering marvel connects Ironforge and Stormwind City. The dwarves are also known for using griffins as flying mounts, providing vital passage to allies. Dwarven craftsmanship and gnomish ingenuity have made Ironforge famous for its industry as an alliance centre of commerce. The city is a series of concentric rings, with the smaller levels deeper underground. The Council of Three Hammers meets within the High Seat. The crystalline body of the former King of Ironforge, Magni Bronzebeard, rests below the High Seat within the Assembly of Thanes. The Hall of Explorers, a testament to the dwarven reverence for history and exploration, houses a massive library. A museum of artifacts is also found there, ran by the Explorers League. So there you go, that's the information on Ironforge that I've got here. I thought that would be just a little bit interesting to read about. We haven't got much else here. You can hear me probably turning pages really clumsily. Should we have a look at Stormwind City? Because there are pages dedicated to famous people of the race, and the human page is just like insane. Okay, so Stormwind isn't there. We're still running, by the way. Look at that. We're still going. We'll get there soon enough. Stormwind City. Stormwind City. Location, the Eastern Kingdoms. Faction, Alliance. Race, human. Stormwind City is the capital of the Kingdom of Stormwind, the largest human nation in Azeroth. Stormwind City has been rebuilt and improved several times over the years. It was destroyed by the armies of the Old Horde during the First War, and later devastated by Deathwing's attack during the Cataclysm. Today, Stormwind stands as a triumphant symbol of human tenacity and strength, a monument to Alliance ideals. Stormwind City is home to residents from all over the world. The large Dwarven district hosts both dwarves and gnomes, and there is also a small Night Elf population. Stormwind City also has transport routes connecting to Kalimdor as well as outposts in Northrend. The Eastern Earth Shrine has mystical portals that allow nearby instantaneous travels to locations across Azeroth and beyond. Okay, so we're coming up to Loch Modan now, I think. Actually, we've gone to the wrong path. That's me not paying attention, as usual. Good job there. Okay, so whilst we're heading back down there, we'll read another bit. Stormwind Keep. This mighty castle is King Varian Rin's seat of power, where he resides with his son, Prince Anduin. Heroes of History. Statues of Alliance Expedition members, the great heroes who travelled to Draenor and sealed the Dark Portal, guard the main entrance to Stormwind City. Thane, Kurdran Wildhammer and Archmage Khadgar on the left. Force Commander Danath Trollbane and Ranger Captain Illyria Windrunner take up the right. General Terralion, the expedition's leader, secures Stormwind's entrance. The Cathedral of Light. Towers over the city centre. It stands as a home to high-ranking members of the Church of the Holy Light, and all those that choose to follow the philosophical ways of the Light's teachings. The Stormwind Stockades. a dungeon, which we're going to be looking at some point. The Stormwind Stockade is a large prison system located beneath the canals in the centre of the city. Prison revolts have been a common occurrence, despite Warden Thermwater's best efforts to keep the prisoners contained. And Deathwing's attack. Luckily, I think we've got a long, straight tunnel here. Perfect. During the Cataclysm, Deathwing attacked Stormwind City. The avenues were bathed in flame and ash, and the great black dragon carved his mark into the capital, completely destroying portions of the city. Afterward, King Varian Rin embarked upon a large-scale renovation, expanding the Dwarven district, opening access to Stormwind City's outskirts, and refortifying the Stormwind Keep. And that, for now, is what we're going to read from this book. We're going to come back to it when we go to new areas of significant lore, specifically with the races, and we're going to look at it a little bit again later. But for now, let's get back on with our questing, shall we, now that we've filled up 10 minutes of our time? The Lost Pilot. Find Pilot Hilldelve north of Helmsbed Lake. Okay, what level is this quest for? I can't tell because it doesn't do it anymore. 875 experience. That is not worth it. We're not going to take on that Lost Pilot one. We're going to head straight into Loch Modan, because as much as I do love white snowy zones, I've been playing Guild Wars 2 a lot, and the level 40 to 60 zones are all freaking snow zones. So we're going to move away from that. Speaking of Guild Wars 2, and the Let's Play of that, it's coming. It's coming soon. I'm planning on recording lots of videos for it so that I can pump them out at the same rate I'm pumping this one out. And hopefully we're going to be able to get on track. So we're now heading into the Valley of Kings. Did we actually accept that quest? It really doesn't look like it. Start quest. Oh, I didn't accept it. Oh no, I meant to talk to that guy that I just ignored. I'm doing a fantastic job, aren't I? This Let's Play is supposed to be running around and reading shit and doing absolutely fuck all. I'm really sorry that this hasn't been as exciting as the Shenzhen Zoo Wandering Isle missions, but unfortunately the quests when you get out into Azeroth are a lot less condensed, and we start to slow down quite a bit. The fact we don't have a mount is really kicking my ass as well. We have 1 gold, which should be enough to get that. So hopefully we'll move on to that soon enough. I hope that these parts are coming out swiftly enough for you, by the way. I've been trying to upload them whenever I can, but of course it takes a toll on my internet connection, and when my family's trying to use it as well, they can get a little bit shitty. So, considering that this is a part of the main story now, let's talk to Pilot Hammerfoot and not ignore him for the last time. Have our leaders finally heard my pleas? We're down to just a handful of pilots and mountaineers to defend Loch Modan. My friend and fellow Siege Engine pilot, Maury Hilldelve, is lost in the hills, ironically. We were looking for a rare ore that's needed for a high-grade blast powder, and during our search he drove his engine up a steep hill and busted it. Still convinced that ore was in these mountains, Hilldelve charged me to guard our engines while he continued on foot. It's been days, and I've heard some beastly growls north of Helmsbed Lake, west of the tunnel. Maury's tough as nails, but I'm worried. Please, Sunpo, find him. So we've got to go and find this missing pilot in the mountains in Dunmurra, and there's been like an earthquake going on? The screen keeps shaking and all this sort of stuff. I wonder if that's going to tie into our story when we get to it. Strange occurrences in Loch Modan. After the Cataclysm and Deathwing coming across it, the dam was destroyed and the lake was completely unflooded, which left quite a gap, as you can possibly imagine. Now we've got 2 buffs here. So I've got the Bonfire's Blessing, which says your bonfire is burning hot. You have a 30% chance to inflict 152 fire damage on any melee, ranged or spell attack. And then I have the Fire Festival Fortitude, which increases my stamina by 30. How cool is that? Okay, we've got some things to skin here. Luckily our player's come through before us and has found our poor dwarf friend. And it doesn't look like he is faring too well either. No, I think it's safe to say that he's dead. Here is the corpse of a dwarf, mauled, frozen, and picked clean by mountain scavengers. Clutched in its hand is a book containing the roughly scribbled notes of Maury Hilldelve, and around its frame, still in superior condition, is a brigadier's vest. This grisly scene must have been where the siege engineer pilot met his end. So what are we going to pick? I wonder what that cloak looks like. Always looking out for cool gear. We'll take the cloak because none of this other stuff is really important, and the mace looks pretty pants. Hilldelve wrote in his journal that he was attacked by Mangeclaw, a huge ice-claw bear. He drove off the beast, but not before it mauled him savagely. Judging from the state of Hilldelve's body, Mangeclaw must have later returned and killed him. However, Hilldelve wrote in his journal his one final wish: revenge against Mangeclaw. Mangeclaw. Kill Mangeclaw. Bring his mangy paw and Hildel's journal to Pilot Hammerfoot at the South Gate Outpost. There he is. Okay, right, we're going to take him down, aren't we? Let's go into stealth mode so that he can't do anything to us just yet. We're going to try and ambush him. So we dealt some damage, and we're going to take him out there. That was pretty swift. Luckily, Pandaren, being a panda, is naturally accustomed to fighting other things of its size, such as a bear. That's of course bullshit, because pandas don't normally fight at all whatsoever. So we're going to turn this quest, and we're going to head into Loch Modan and see some green finally. But unfortunately, a lot of this has been running around, and welcome to World of Warcraft is all I can say if you're getting fed up of walking around already. I hope that the lore and the story has helped to input just a little bit out of the boredom. We'll hand in this quest in, we'll head into Loch Modan proper, see what we can do to give some help, and then in that case I will see you next time. Okay, so let's keep going. Here's Pilot Hammerfoot. Hello, Sunpo. Do you have word of my friend Hildelv? This is grim news, for Hildelv was a good friend, and I wish I could have been there with you when you found the beast, Mangeclaw. Thank you, Sunpo. Your deed will be remembered by the pilots of the Ironforge Siege Brigade. So we're going to pick up this new belt, which is actually something we're going to want to put on. Unfortunately, it does not look as cool as the Pandaren one, but we'll have to deal with that for now. We're due for sending a status report over to the mountaineers in the Valley of Kings. I expect you're on your way there next anyhow. Would you mind dropping it off for me? Just take the tunnel to the east and check in at the guard station. Hand it directly to Captain Rugelfuss. Blimey, that's quite a name. Okay, so now we're going to head into the Valley of Kings, which is a little bit down here. Before we head into the valley proper, which I think is a valley anyway, it's centralised around a lake. Before we head into the lake proper, we're going to go to the Valley of Kings, and I think help deal with a gnoll situation, which is something that's plaguing the dwarves and has been for quite some time. Now, like I keep saying, if you have any feedback or things that you want me to do in these episodes, just cut down the journeys and all that sort of stuff. This thing is glowing. Continue your adventures in Loch Modan. That's what I'm doing. So if you've got any ideas about what you want me to do, if you want me to cut down the travelling sections and just go to that, what I'll do is I'll put an episode out. The next episode I'll put out, I'll just cut it straight to us doing... Actually, no. The next time we move zones, I'll cut it down a little bit so we can see what that goes like, see if it speeds up a little bit. So we don't have to just sit around reading stuff and waiting, because anyone can do that in their spare time. But hey, if you like it, then that's yours. The book I was reading was published by DK, and it's called The World of Warcraft Ultimate Visual Guide. I hope that you enjoyed reading that with me, and I'm going to be looking at it again and referencing it soon enough. So when we go into the base, we're going to find out what's going on in this area. Also, if you like me doing this role-playing style thing where I talk to the characters and follow our main story, then please feel free to encourage me to keep going, because I'll probably just skip the quest text after a while because I get bored myself. At ease, Pandaren, this is no time for formalities. With the Alliance forces under attack, the protection of the Dwarven territories becomes even more critical. The recent Trogg uprising poses a dreadful threat to the King's land. What brings you all the way out here? The Southgate status report? Excellent. I've been awaiting news for them for a while. With the increasing number of Troggs in the hills on all sides, I fear the outpost will be the first to feel any aggressive action. We need to protect the Loch, Sunpo. With so many of the King's soldiers fighting valiantly on remote battlefields, we've become overwhelmed on the home front. Troggs are tunneling up from every crevice. The Trogg infestation poses the largest threat to Ironforge. We need you, brave adventurer, to venture forth and lay waste to the Trogg threat. Slay 12 stone splinter Troggs and venture back. Rogue, you may or may not be aware of the Trogg threat looming over Dwarven lands. With the Ironforge Reserve called up to the Alliance front, we're left with a fraction of the defence forces needed to keep these lands safe. My regiment is assigned to watch over the town here, and you cannot leave our post to fear of invasion. But we need some pressure put on those damned Troggs lurking in the hills. If you're up to the task, wage an assault on the Troggs. Bring me back 8 Trogg stone teeth as proof. Okay guys, so next episode we're going to deal with some Troggs and help out these dwarves that seem to be in a bit of a pickle, surrounded on all sides by filthy, gross Troggs, with stone teeth apparently. So that's it for this time. I'll stay here with Mountaineer Tyror until we're safely able to move on. And it's been a pleasure recording for you guys, and I hope to see you next time.